There are no two things women desire more than love and money. But many women have come to think that it's either love or money and not both. And they're operating on how to get both in different ways. Today, we're going to show you how you can use the same steps and technology to have it all. Today's guest is Annie Lalla, love coach, relationship expert, and emotional cartographer. Annie's helped thousands of ambitious humans decode the language of love and intimacy to elevate every area of their lives, including wealth. In this episode, Annie's unpacking the psychology behind powerful partnerships, how emotional fluency fuels financial success, and why mastering love is also the gateway to mastering wealth. If you've ever felt like your relationship dynamics are holding you back, or if you're craving deeper connection without losing your edge, this episode is your permission slip to having it all. Annie's bringing the fire and the framework. You'll walk away rethinking how love and money actually work together to amplify your ability to master both. This is the Women Growing Wealth Podcast, and I'm your host, Tamar Hermes. If you've been loving these episodes, please leave me a 5-star review, or if you're watching us on YouTube, kindly hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss a thing. Now, let's get into today's episode about love and money. No two elements are more charged than love and money. These are the two drivers that really impact our entire lives. If you think about money and our symbolism for freedom and love as our need for connection, these two are something that if you explore and master, you can live a much more fulfilling life. And I can think of no one better than to talk about love than my dear friend Annie Lalla, who is here with us today. She is a renowned love coach. People come from all over the world to get her wisdom and knowledge on love and relationships and how to deepen the connection in their lives. And today we're going to explore how money and love intersect. It's going to be juicy, I promise. Welcome, Annie.
Yay, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, I love that you got excited when you thought, hey, we're going to talk about love and money.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Love and money, and maybe sex and money too.
And sex and money too. We actually have been talking about this. So, one of the things that was interesting to me when I was thinking about this whole conversation was all of the intersections really of where we land with love and money.
Yep.
And a couple of the key elements for me were trust, security, things that I was so obsessed with getting money for because I longed for those. But what I realized was that having money and having wealth and feeling that sense of security and trust, I needed relationship. Without that, I was not really living a full life. Talk to us about that.
Well, it's interesting you said trust. I love that word. It's one of my favorite words because trust has us in the middle. It's trust. And the way you cultivate trust is by developing an interaction where what's made central or primary is the us. So if you're talking to someone and they're making the relationship more important than their agenda, whatever they're trying to sell, whatever they're trying to push, then you feel trust. If you feel that someone's talking to you and their agenda or what they want is more important than the connection, you don't trust them. And so I think learning how to us, which is the fundamental of a relationship, is underneath trust in general. And I think our early imprints on trust comes from our attachment figures, which is our imprints on love. And so I think anything to do with trust and security and safety will involve lower Maslow stuff, which is food, safety, and belonging. Those are the lower 3 rungs, right? So food, safety, belonging. And belonging is really about relationships. And I mean, I spent my entire life mapping the territory of relational dynamics and in particular romantic, but also parent-child, friendship, siblings, colleagues. Being able to build trust requires you to be able to be attuned and empathizing with your needs and wants. So to have a self, because in order to have needs and wants and fears and desires, you have to have a self to hang them on like a Christmas tree, like the ornaments are your wants and needs. And you have to be able to attune to others. So successful life comes from being able to attune to your own needs and wants, which is a skill. I had to learn it from my husband, who's very good at it, and tuning into other people's needs and wants. Because if you only tune into yours and you can't empathize with others, you won't have successful relationships. And you won't feel that the world trusts you or that you can trust the world. So I think healthy relationships is an equal amount of selfing, me, I, and othering what's going on for other people. And really that's what I teach, is how to cross-train these two skills.
I love that. And while you're speaking, I'm thinking about money and how much money drove me, and I can see it driving other women that are ambitious and successful to the point where we lose that piece of connection. How do we bring money in?
Yeah. So honestly, I think the pursuit of money at its fundamental drive is a pursuit of connection. Like the drive for money is so that I can what? Have status and be powerful and have people like me and want to be around me and get the high quality mate and get into the clubs and get, what is it all about? I want to be around the high quality people. I want to have, people don't make money to go live in a cave. They make money so they can be in circumstances where they're interacting with people and getting loved. So I think the whole pursuit of money is really fundamentally underpinned by I want to feel loved, respected, admired. And so why don't we go straight to how do you feel loved, respected, and admired privately, alone in your bedroom at night? When you have that, then the money and the mates and the friends and the high status dynamics follow. So I think, if you're pursuing money for making an easy life or to have high status or to solve problems, just notice underneath that the drive is being funded by a deep, deep desire to connect in high quality ways with another human heart. And so why not learn how to do both? And actually, you need to learn how to connect with another person effectively to be successful financially. Like, I don't know if you can be rich if you don't cultivate some savvy around your relational dynamics. How will you hire people, keep them in your company? How will you build client relationships? How do you get people to trust you and want to give you money for your services or product? Like, being able to build trust first with yourself and then with another might be the most important skill of being a human.
I absolutely love this. And what is occurring to me is that this is a great segue into what we were discussing prior to this podcast starting, where you said, Tamar, can we bring this in? How I made money. And you did it through connection with yourself.
Yes.
And I would love for you to share that, because if anyone wants to try this at home, I'm thinking this is very,
this
very
is going to be edgy and fringe for your audience, but I'm a love, relationship, and sex coach, so I'm working with all of it. And early days when I started as a coach, I'd made a lot of money as an IT consultant, so I already had an ecology around being able to earn a lot. Like, I remember at the top of my consulting days, I was making $1,500 an hour. And that was like, oh, great. And then I saved up all my money, moved to New York, and decided I wanted to do what my passion was, which was being a love coach, a relationship coach, and helping people work through conflict and find their soulmate. But, when you're in the top of a mountain, you have to kind of come down the valley. And so I was like, okay, I'm living off my savings. And I started coaching clients individually, one by one, that were sent to me by my friend, who was a weight loss coach. And she would help them lose weight and then send them to me to find their love. So I started my practice in, one by one. But what I struggled with wasn't the coaching. I struggled with invoicing. Like, I did not have the ability to send an invoice for the time that I spent with them, even though they'd agreed to the price. Because I felt like, oh my God, I can't charge for this thing that's so easy for me, which is a big myth we should talk about, which basically your superpower is the thing that's so easy for you, it feels like breathing. That's actually what you're good at, and that's actually what you should be charging for. But you think, oh, it's supposed to be hard to make money. So then we get convinced I got to go do something hard and then hustle. The idea that I could make money just talking to people about their relationships was astounding. So it was so fun for me, and I couldn't send the invoice. So I was like, what am I going to do? So at the time, I was reading a lot about tantric practice and Montauk Chia, and I came upon this idea. It's called sex magic, which is basically to use sexual energy, which is your creative force, which is actually underneath all creativity, which makes you make money. But if I could use sexual energy to help allow myself to let money come towards me, that would be a new move. So I tried self-pleasuring in my bedroom by thinking about money coming in, just money coming in, and that didn't work, okay? So then I was like, okay, I need to imagine the cycle of value, which is I'm creating value for someone else in their life, and that value is going out to my clients, and then in exchange, value is coming in to me in the form of payment and money. And I think everything in nature is in cycles, right? Trees grow, then they fall, then they rot, then the fungus turns them into soil and another tree grows. Everything in nature is in cycles. And so the reason it wasn't working is because I wasn't thinking about the cycle of value. So once I started practicing, I took about $2,000 out of my bank account, got all the $100 bills on my bed, and I lay there and I just self-pleasured and thought about, I'm going to change the world with my love. I'm just going to give value to people in my coaching. I'm going to let value come in response. So I'm part of this cycle. And I did that religiously for, I don't know, about a week. And then I started being able to charge for my coaching. I started to be able to send invoices. And then I hired someone who could actually send the invoices for me. And I haven't looked back. And honestly, I could make money doing something I didn't love in corporate, but I hadn't really learned how to feel deserving for doing the thing that it was so easy and effortless. It was what I came here to do. And so it's an interesting upgrade. You can be good at making money for a company, but not be good at making money doing your dharmic game. So it's a hack.
We'll do it. We're not proud here.
But here's the deal. When you're having a sexual experience, especially right before your orgasm, your entire psyche kind of melts down and reinvents itself. It's called a little death. And I actually think all your beliefs melt for just a moment. And if you're conscious about it, you can reform a new belief around money, around deserving, around worthiness, around self-esteem. And so the idea behind sex magic is that you use sexual energy to reformat your beliefs and your mind and your possibilities and what you're worth. And so, whatever you want to dream about. My husband and I, when we have intimacy, sometimes I'll say, hey, let's think about this thing we're trying to create. Let's think about this launch. Let's think about this house we want to call in. And he always forgets. But sometimes right before I'm like, come on, remember the house, remember the house. I don't think you should ever waste an orgasm. I mean, every orgasm is an opportunity to make a dream come true, wired in at the deepest level when your body is the most open and creative and manifest oriented. So never waste an orgasm.
I love that. And you actually answered my question because I was thinking you did this way back when you started this love coaching career and you still use it. So this is a skill that any person listening can experiment with. The thing that is interesting to me and a word that came up frequently, which I think is a huge trigger for money and building wealth and expanding, is worthiness. A lot of women feel like it's too much. Wow, I can't make that much. I can't take that much space. This is something that also ties in with relationships. Am I worthy of love? Am I worthy of wealth? Am I worthy of resource? And it's interesting to hear how you utilized that to nurture it. What are there other skills that you can recommend that the listeners, wherever they are on their journey, maybe it's more love, maybe it's more money,
Upgrade their worthiness?
Upgrade worthiness.
Okay, so self-esteem has two parts, according to Nathaniel Branden, who wrote the book on self-esteem. It's called 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, top 10 book to read, absolutely spectacular. And all of us need to raise our self-esteem in different areas. Self-esteem is domain specific. So I have high self-esteem around helping a couple work through conflict, low self-esteem around cooking anything in the kitchen or organizing anything to do with the physical world. Like we have domains, right? And so he defines self-esteem as 2 parts. The first part is believing that you deserve to be happy in this lifetime, like believing that your needs and wants are sacred. So that's something you have to cultivate. But the other part of self-esteem is believing that you can cope with what life brings your way. And so I'm always trying to help my clients and my students cultivate both these domains. So one is coping and resilience, and one is deservingness and worthiness. And in terms of worthiness, one of the ways I made a breakthrough is realizing that only humans, they're the only animal on the planet that runs around thinking we have to earn the right to have our needs and wants met. Every other, like a squirrel, a mushroom, a deer in the forest, they all just take what they need from their environment. They feel worthy and deserving, and they leave what they don't need. There's no earning involved. And if you look even smaller, like in your body, we have neurons and blood cells and cells in our flesh. Every single cell is just sitting there doing its little cell thing, producing its products, growing, taking oxygen and nitrogen and glucose or whatever it needs from the blood source. And it just does what it needs to do to keep itself strong. And when our neuron cell does whatever it needs to keep itself strong, it becomes part of neural tissue. and then it can contribute to us having a great new idea. So what do we need from every little piece of nature? We need it to go into the world and take what it needs in order to survive and thrive. And when we survive and thrive, we can be a great contribution to our family system, to our community, to our company, to the world. And so, funnily enough, the fastest way to save the world and to be a contribution is to take radical responsibility for creating worthiness, deserving, security, safety, and connection to yourself. So, and a lot of women are martyrs and empaths, and they're like, what can I do for everybody else? And when you don't give from overflow, you're actually ultimately taking from the system, because you will lose your shit, you'll snap, you'll get sick, and then you become a burden to the system. So upstream, learning how to self, I like to say I love you it's a big word in relationships, but I love you starts with I. If you don't have a strong I, the love you doesn't matter.
Let's talk about money and safety.
Yes.
Safety and love. How do we deal with that? Because it's such a big trigger.
It's the fundamental. I mean, until you have safety, you can't even leap into the innovation, into the unknown. And learning to create safety in your body is actually what I consider the mark of being a grown adult. And most of us don't actually know how to do it. If too much money comes in our direction, we contract. Our nervous system literally feels unsafe. And if it feels unsafe for money to come in, money's going to be like, okay, I'll run away now. And same with love. We don't realize it that the main skill I teach my clients in relationships is how do you breathe and cope with strong sensations that are happening in your nervous system when something, when you get triggered. So whether you're triggered because your partner says something, or you're contracted because an opportunity to make money shows up, if you don't know how to generate safety in your nervous system and create a calm, relaxed body, love nor money will come in your direction. And so a big part of becoming financially successful and romantically successful is taking radical responsibility for learning the skills and the tools to create safety in your body in real time without relying and depending on your partner or other people to make you feel safe. So the main skill, and I just want to drop this for your listeners, is there's many regulation tools for your nervous system. There's as many as there are yoga teachers and breathing instructors. But the easiest one I've ever found, and the fastest and most portable, is basically taking 3 to 5 deep breaths in through the nose and then exhale out through the mouth, where the exhale is around twice as long as the inhale. So basically going long, slow exhale. Surprisingly enough, if someone says, hey, do you want me to introduce you to this client? And it's like an amazing deal that you could make lots of money from. Notice if your nervous system contracts, and then just literally in the middle of the conversation, just take a deep breath. And that calming down of your nervous system gives you enough of a thymocortical pause to access your grown-up files that says, say yes to this opportunity. The opportunity is courting you, and it wants to know, will I be able to grow up in your reality? Are you a fertile ground for the opportunity to actualize? And you just want to generate safety in your body so that you can say yes to money and say yes to love. And I think that's the most important skill you can cultivate if you want abundance.
I love that. And the other thing that it brings up for me is last year I had a situation where several investments that I had made had gone bad.
Okay.
And it was very triggering for me. Part of what I looked back on in terms of what happened, part of it is when you invest, you will not always win.
Yeah.
And the environment kind of created a situation that invited some losses. Yeah, it was a perfect storm. Yet I'm listening to the nervous system tool and wondering how more women can bring this in when they are trying to decide whether an investment is right for them or not. Because sometimes it is like calling in that high file and saying yes, and sometimes it is a no. And you're still not always going to be right.
Yeah, but I think if you start to practice listening to your intuition as a woman, it's the most important cutting edge technology we have as a human being. That's why men choose us. They choose us because they want our intuition to guide their lives. They choose women to be the visionary leaders of their family. So your intuition is sacred, and your intuition is always in the body. It's not in the mind. It's somatic and it's digital. So it's either yes or no. It doesn't have a lot of words. So someone says, do you want to go to this party? Just feel your body, feel your womb. Is your body expanding or contracting? Don't even listen to your reasons and your thoughts. Just literally, I run everything through my womb. My body's either expanded or contracted. And the more you listen to your intuition, expanding, go for it. Contracted, don't. Your intuition is your future successful self whispering to you what to do next. And the more you listen to it, the louder its whisper becomes. And so I think the most important skill we can cultivate as women is listening to our body, which is our nervous system, in real time and using it to decide, is this investment right for me? Feel it. Don't read all the papers and the research only. Do that. So inform yourself, but then use your intuition because it's your clairvoyance.
Mm-hmm.
Women create the future in their body with a child. So I think women have access to clairvoyant knowledge from the future, and it's through our intuition. And your future successful self is trying to whisper to you what to do to get there. You just got to listen.
I love that. I also heard one friend told me that your yes is your heart and your no is your womb, or you might feel your yes and your no in different parts of your body. Play around with it.
Yep, totally.
But let's utilize the skills that we have as women. And I know for me, who knows why my journey went the way that it did. There could have been a million things. And I also know that it is a part of the lessons to mature and to expand.
Expand. And the key is expand. Just notice what people, places, opportunities, things expand you and which ones contract you. And if that's all you notice, your life is going to be guided towards success.
Let's talk about another buzzword.
Yep.
in with money.
Yeah.
It kind of has a little bit to do with worthiness, but receiving.
Yeah.
That's a huge one. And I even find for myself, receiving has been hard for me. I talk about holding money. Money is when you're making more and more of it, it is a responsibility. It's an energy, and we want to be able to move it. We want to be able to be good stewards of it. We want to make sure we can keep some of it. We want to be smart about it. So there's that element. And then there's the whole relationship side. And I know that, and this is something that I want listeners to think about, is the way that I am in one, which I just defined so well about receiving money and holding money, may be the way that I sometimes act in my relationship with my partner, where he is trying to give me love and I'm kind of like, I can't hold it. I can't be with it. I can't receive it. I can't move it. So I'd love for you to talk about that. That's something that I think receiving's a big one for women.
Totally. And it's about building a muscle. I think receiving, your capacity to receive anything, money, attention, compliments, affection, love, is upper limited by your worthiness. So they work together. But I think most women think of receiving as taking. And they have a bad rap around taking. That's selfish. Even just being selfish. I don't want you to be selfish. I want you to be selfie, right? Having a strong self means you're a contribution in every space you're in rather than a vampire. And so I think of receiving as like a muscle. Like, when you go to the gym and you do some reps and you're like, I can only do 10 reps with this barbell. And then you keep trying, you do one more. And the next time you do 2 more. And so you have to learn to build your muscle slowly but surely with receiving. So you start with tiny little increments. So someone says, I'm going to go to the kitchen to make a tea. Do you want one? And actually listening to your body and going, do I want one? Or am I on autopilot, compulsion, never inconvenience someone, just go, no, I'm fine. Because I notice this pattern in me. I will say, no, I'm fine before I even entertain. Am I thirsty? Do I want something?
I feel that.
And I've been practicing just checking with my nervous system. Hey, inside little girl, do you want a tea? Do you want some water? And then having the courage to be in high fidelity, honest transparency about what my little girl needs. As if I'm the only person on the planet that's here to shepherd and take care of this creature mammal. I'm the only one. And if I'm not attuning to her needs and wants, I train everyone around me to not attune. And then we complain later when they're not, empathically connected. So receiving, I think, is something you want to build slowly by listening in real time to what your nervous system is saying. One of the things as a joke in my family is I'll ask everyone, do you want a glass of water? My daughter, my husband, do you want a glass of water? And they're like, you're thirsty, get a glass of water. Because whenever I ask for something, it means I want it. And so I haven't even got this yet. I rely on them to go, Mom, that means you want a glass of water. So you can create little structures in your family system, in your community, where when you it's almost like you go to your friends and go, hey, I'm working on receiving. It's a muscle I'm building this month. Will you be my support? Will you be my spotter? And they'll go, sure. What does that look like? By the way, you're teaching them by demonstrating this. And just say, anytime you offer me something and you feel pushback from me, will you just check again and say, hey, I just asked if you wanted something. Will you check in actually in real time with your body and see if you need it or want it? Like, ask your community and family to help you build the muscle. And like at the gym, the spotter is the one that sort of catches the barbell if you can't lift it. And you're training your community to see your needs and wants as sacred, which then trains you because the tribe influences you, right? So that's one thing I'd recommend in terms of cultivating receiving, is noticing when you compulsively say no. And actually just practice saying yes. Just practice. Just tell everyone, husband, children, I'm going to practice saying yes. I don't even know if I mean it, but I'm just practicing because I'm so used to saying no. And I think that's a good skill. So receiving is like a muscle. I think of money, and I don't know how you speak about it. I think of money as a form of love and a form of God trying to get to me. So if you think about money as having consciousness and it wants to come to you and play with you, it's like, come play with me. And playing means giving and taking with it. And the more you play with it, the more it hangs out with you. So if you hoard money and save it, you're not playing with it. You're just stacking it away. It doesn't have fun with you. If you're always grasping for it and you act like it doesn't want to hang out with you, it kind of just goes, I don't understand this relationship. It would be like a friend trying to call you all the time and you call them up once and you just go, why are you avoiding me? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm calling you all the time. Money is literally knocking on your door going, do you want to play? Do you want to play? And you don't know how to hear it. Because either hearing it is out of rapport with your family system and your lineage wounds, or playing with money is for what bad rich people do, or whatever hangups you have around finance, wealth, abundance. Usually it's shame around doing well because that takes you out of rapport and loyalty with your family system who are poor, or your peer group who are struggling, and you feel kinship with the struggle. And so you can't leave the struggle because then you lose all your friends, you think. All these stories we have around money, when the truth is, when you have financial freedom and abundance with your wealth, you are only more of a contribution in every space you're in. I think Mother Teresa said, it takes a checkbook to save the world.
Yeah. Ooh, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to look at the relationship with money in terms of what you were talking about, playing with money.
Yes.
And I love this because I have many clients and there's many women that I know that hold on to money, keep it in a savings account. They're earning 0.0001%.
And they have a death grip on it.
And they're doing it in a way where they might be investing some of it, but they're holding a lot more than they need to and not playing with it because there's this feeling of what if, this security.
Yeah.
And a lot of what I do when I'm working with clients is how do we play and with the money and make it a friend, make it move, make it live with us.
Dynamic. A dynamic dance partner.
Yes.
And the thing is, when I say fun, it's not necessarily you have to have fun, though that's great. But are you optimizing for money having fun with you? Like if money was an actual entity, would it say, Annie's fun. She plays with me. And I have to tell you, if money met me and talked to me, it would say, thanks for having so much fun with me, because I love to spend money on fun things for myself, for my family, for my friends. Like I love gifts. I love surprising people, even if the tiniest thing. And money definitely thinks I'm its ally and its friend. And so it's not, are you having fun with money? It's, is money having fun with you? And money will have more fun with you if you're having fun with it.
Absolutely. I love this. And one of the tools that we work with is how do we make money work for us?
Yeah.
So how we're playing with money, money is our friend, and money can also be a steward for us in a lot of ways. So there are ways in which we're not even just earning the money, but money is invested and it's just earning money while we're doing our thing. And money's like, oh, hey, money, thank you over here for supporting me.
But why don't you can even flip it? What if you thought of money as investing in you? Who would you have to be so that money is like, Oh, I want to go hang with that bitch. Oh, I want to. She has fertile. Her mind and her creativity and her imagination. It's fertile ground for me to grow. Right. I think of money and opportunity similarly. They float around, like money energy is invisibly floating around, and it's going. Which mind is most fertile for me to go hang out and grow into something new in a fun way? And so, is your mind? Just ask, listeners, I should ask, is my mind and creativity and imagination fertile for money to want to invest in me so that it could grow into something new? And I think that's just an interesting inquiry to be in, not just for money, but any opportunity. If an opportunity to get on a podcast or to meet this client or to have a hit song, if you want an opportunity to come to you, it has to know that when it comes to you, you're going to run with it. You're going to jump on it. You're not just going to sit there and fret and go, oh, should I, could I, would I, maybe? No, no, no. Opportunities don't go to people who are fretting. They go to people and worrying. They go to people who are excited and go, yes. And they leap on it. And then the opportunity gets to be something amazing when it grows up.
I'm hearing the opportunity and the importance of creating the identity of a human in the world, a woman in the world that is
capitalizes on opportunities and brings her creative imagination and enthusiasm to opportunities. Like literally, if someone rings your doorbell, do you contract or do you go, this is an opportunity? When someone says in passing, oh, I have a client for you, or I have an idea that you could do for your business, what is your face saying? What is your body saying? Are you replying to the universe trying to hand you a miracle with a contraction or an expansion? Because if you start listening, you will see that every day the universe is trying to hand you an opportunity, and in an email and a call and a text, and you are just sliding right past it because of some low-level terror that we could excavate. And that's what I do with my clients. You know, with my single clients who are looking for a partner, what I dig down, what's really happening is there's a low-level terror of actually being in a committed long-term relationship, of actually being in love, because they have a belief that somehow that's going to rob them of some other thing they value. So I have to explore that and have them realize, has it ever occurred to you that if you found the right partner, you wouldn't lose your freedom and your independence? You might have more freedom and independence? And they always say, no, that has never occurred to me. And then we have to build that story, you know, a new idea about love offering you a trampoline to your dreams, not a constraint.
I love that. What I'm hearing is the word that's coming to my mind through all of this is courage. Yeah. Courage, because we are so designed to shrink down when we're afraid. And it's by nature, right? That
is small, so nothing finds you and bites you.
Yeah. And that courage is what I'm hearing every woman really needs to work on cultivating.
And you know, courage comes from cœur, which is in French, means the heart. So courage actually means to stand fiercely in your heart and make actions from there. And which is really what it comes down to make a relationship work. And courage, which is what is required to generate faith. And faith is what pulls an opportunity, a business, a relationship forward. You have to believe in something that has no proof and no evidence based on the status quo or the past. Faith is what makes you a visionary leader. And if a woman wants to be a visionary leader, she has to be able to generate faith in her future, in her skills, in her deservingness, in her value, in her dignity, in her right to have a life that's not just okay, but amazing. And teaching people how to manufacture faith is one of the things I love breaking down.
I love that. I love that. There needs to be a feeling of freedom inside of how we can love, how we can earn and bring in resource, how we can keep resource, how we can make resource work for us. And I'm loving this whole idea. Now, for women listening that are looking to not only grow, but they're looking to grow wealth. They're looking for that financial freedom where money's actually coming in to the point where they don't need to do anything if they don't want. Now, I hope that every woman will find as I did, when you get to that point that you have so much more to contribute to the world and you have so much more you want to share, that comes naturally. That's birthed inside of you. If you're on this journey where you really, maybe you're not as excited by what you're doing, or maybe you're worried that it's going really well, but it may stop at some point.
Which is still not excitement.
Which is still not excitement because you're choking again.
Your nervous system is contracted. When your nervous system is contracted and you're holding a vision, the universe, God, reality, your higher self goes, oh, you don't want that. Because when you think of the vision, your body's contracted. So we're only going to give you a vision that when you think about it, your body expands. And so learning to have your nervous system soft, open, grounded, and expanded as you think about dreams, outcomes, money coming in is a skill. And I don't know if I've shared this with you before, but I have a distinction between having versus hoping. So when you have something, there's a feeling around it. Like I have this necklace. I love this necklace. It's my little anatomical gold heart. So I have this necklace, but I can't hope for it. Because whenever you have something, it excludes hoping. And when you have something, you kind of take it for granted. You just go like, oh, there it is. I'm going to put it on. You don't go, oh my God, there it is. It has a kind of congruent, grounded, of courseness. So that's having energy. And having energy precludes hoping. Now, hoping energy is different. Oh, someday I want to get this client. Someday I want to make this money. Someday I want to have this business. Someday, one day, maybe. When you have hoping energy, the energetic vibe is disbelief, uncertainty, kind of a frazzly anxiety. It's not grounded and calm. Someday, one day, maybe. Whether you're saying it or just thinking it. Oh, I hope he texts me. Oh, I hope. That hoping energy has a frequency, and the frequency has disbelief and uncertainty built into it. So whenever you're hoping for something, guess what? It precludes having. Just like having precludes hoping, whenever you're hoping, it precludes having. So when my clients are thinking about a dream future, whether it's financial or romantic, I start to look at their nervous system. Is their nervous system open and relaxed? Like, oh, I can't wait to find my partner. I'm just loving my life and my king is coming to me. Or, oh, I really hope someday before I die, maybe it'll come. I don't know, maybe. Right? So when it's money, notice, how is your nervous system held when you think about the dream outcome? Right? Whatever you're visioning, you're going to get, right? If your nervous system is open. And if you're visioning debt and worry and anxiety, you're going to get more of that. So it's really important to track the state you're in when you're holding an outcome, especially around money.
I love that. Yeah.
Also, the money's going, she don't look fun to play with.
And we don't want that.
We don't want to invest in her.
So, okay, let's say there are a couple things that women can do right now. We've talked about some really tactical steps that women can take, and whatever resonates for each one, I'll hope that you'll take action like right away and start, go to your bedroom and throw the money around. I don't know, what you do is your business, but let's energetically get to that place.
Yeah.
What would be one step that you might recommend? Like if I was to do one thing, if I was a woman right now that was making really good money and I was feeling really good, but I was wanting to call in the one and feeling like I've got the money, but I don't have the partner, or vice versa. Like I have the partner, but I'm not feeling open to the money.
Well, definitely do some sex magic on whatever you're missing. But if you're actually if you're going to go into relationships and how do you call in your dream partner, I think you actually have to dream them into existence. Like you literally have to dream them. So I give an exercise to my female clients. Next time you're standing at the kitchen counter over the sink and you're washing a dish or, washing something, just imagine for a moment arms coming around your waist and clasping you from behind, from your future lover. The tip of their chin nestling into the neck of your neck from behind. So you don't know what they look like, but you're creating a felt sense. You have to imagine it. But you have to imagine it not with longing and yearning and heartbreak, but you have to imagine it as if it's already a done deal. It's coming for you. Having energy. So the energy you have with the cup that you're washing is taking it for granted, of course. There's my mug. So you're already in the state of having. So then when you're in a state of having, of courseness, whether it's washing a mug or opening the front door or starting your car or opening your laptop. We all have having, of course, energy when we do those moments. That's when you want to paste in the visual of the thing you want, when you're in a having state, so that you're anchoring having, of course, yes, it shall be so, with that dream. You know, if someone's a famous author like Malcolm Gladwell or something, and he's writing a book in April next year and it's coming out in December 2026, if he's on a podcast interview, he's going to talk about it like, oh yeah, my book's coming out. It's going to be done in April. It's coming out in December 2026. HarperCollins is going to be publishing it. The book may not even be written. He's talking about something in the future, but he has so much ecology around, of course I'm going to write it, that in his mind it's a done deal. So there's things in the future that we relate to that may not happen, but we relate to them as with having energy, like the sun rising tomorrow. We all just relate to it. It's going to happen. We all relate to the tea kettle boiling when we turn it on. So the fact that something's in the future does not mean you can't relate to it as it shall be so. It's a done deal, of course. And you have to train yourself to not fall for the, but how do I know? But how do I get there? What's the proof? You have to generate faith from literally your imagination. And I think the same thing with a romantic partner. You have to dream them into existence. And what I mean by that is like literally have a place in your house that's an altar, maybe a shelf with some items that represent your future relationship. And whenever you pass it, just have a visual of spooning them in the bed or them coming up from behind at the kitchen counter and start anchoring it. Another thing to do is start doing your bird call. Like a bird call is a mating call. When you hear a bird song, they're basically saying, come hit me, come hit it with me. Like that's what a bird song is. So are you finding your soul's song, whatever that is, your dharmic calling, whatever brings you alive and has you in flow, your art, your gift, are you doing that in the world, in public, either online or in 3D? Are you showing the world, here's me at my most alive? Because that bird call, you at your most alive, creating value, is how your soulmate recognizes you. Because that's your soul's imprint. So be out in the world making your soul's imprint so that they can recognize you. Also, when you vision an outcome that you want, whether it's a soulmate or a successful business, you have to be a visionary. I mean, Steve Jobs was a visionary. He said, I want a personal computer in every person's hand. And if you looked at the world when he had that vision, there was no indication that that was likely or possible. But his audacity to believe in something so riveting, so good and true and beautiful to him, that reality reorganizes itself in order to make it happen. So the vision, the clearness and the congruence of the vision, it's almost like a bat signal that goes up into the sky in the clouds. And that's your bat signal for the future mate, that vision of what you want. And that's how your future mate finds you. You have to put the vision out into the cosmos. And I literally think your soulmate can smell your vision. They can feel it once it's crystal clear. And the clarity of the vision is, how do you want to feel in that future romance? Not, how much money do they make? What job do they do? It's like, how do you want to feel around them? Which will entail all those other things. And then I believe your partner is looking for you at all times, just like money. They're looking for you. Are you making it easy to find you or hard? Are you fun to play with? Is your life fun? Nobody wants to join a life that's boring. Nobody wants to get on a train that's got cobwebs. They want a train that's leaving the station. So you need to be marching down the street in your life and be like, I'm having fun. I love my life. I love my friends. I love my life. And then a man would want to join that life. Man doesn't want to join a life where you're like, please rescue me. I hate my life. So, I mean, that's pretty standard advice to find a partner, is to create a life that you love so that someone wants to join it. Start visioning. Start doing what you love most. And here's a hack. This is my ninja hack that no one else will tell you. For women who want to call in their life partner, I want you to do something that might take some energy, but every time you interact with a man, assume you're wanting a man partner, a male partner. We'll just assume heteronormative for now. Every man you interact with, whether it's an old 80-year-old guy at the pharmacy or a 16-year-old waiter or a young boy in the park, every male you interact with them as if they are an avatar sent back in time from your future soulmate, interviewing you to see how they feel after the interaction. And then they're going to like send a memo or an energetic email to your soulmate in the future and say, she's ready. I felt so amazing after that interaction. I felt like a king after she talked to me. So you don't have to flirt with them. It's just, are you relating to males as if they are powerful, beautiful, valuable humans without trying to flirt? It's just, what is the impact you're leaving? Another way to think about it is if you interact with a man, any age, whether you're attracted to them or not, they're all an avatar of the divine masculine. Imagine that their mother is standing 3 feet behind them, watching you. How would you interact with that male so that she winked at you after and was like, thanks for loving on my boy?
I love
Right?
that.
Because when you, a lot of women interact with men, especially men they're attracted to, in a way that does not leave them feeling more empowered, doesn't have the man fall more in love with himself. People don't fall in love with you. They fall in love with how they feel about themselves around you. So if you're on a date, you don't need to be smart and interesting. You just need to make sure the date feels smart and interesting. Then they're going to want to hang out with you more. So treat men like kings, and that will call forward your inner queen. And even if this is not the one, every man is either the one or practice for the one. So always bring your A game with every interaction with a man. Even if you're on a date and you're like, he's not the one, leave him better than you found him.
I love that. And one other piece that is coming to me is when you held the hope and the have.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, what about women that have the money, have the relationship, and what happens? It can become like, yeah, I have that.
And take it for granted.
Take it for granted.
And not having reverence and appreciation.
And I know that you coach a lot of couples that fall into this. So I'd love to share some wisdom around that. And I hope that the listeners are hearing that all of this information also parallels really beautiful with money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can call in your one with the altar, and you can also call in money with that too.
Totally. You should definitely have a practice around wooing money, right? It's a seduction. You want to play with it. But you're asking about how to not take things you have for granted.
Mm-hmm.
This practice that I want to share with you will increase your self-esteem around deserving, and not just money, but love. And it's one that I literally used to bootstrap my self-esteem up from being quite low. And it's a practice of tracking your own pleasure and delight in moments of your life. And the more microscopic, the better. So for example, everyone has pleasure and delight if they win $1,000, if they get a promotion. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about tracking pleasure and delight so microscopically, like when you get in the shower and you put your shampoo in your hair, the shampoo smell that you picked because you like the smell, notice the smell. Enjoy the mango smell. They just be like, oh my God, I love the smell of my shampoo. Or I love the feeling of my wet foot on the bath mat. Or I love the feeling in my mouth right after I brush my teeth and it's all smooth on my teeth. Like the coldness of your pillow when you flip it over. Find moments of micro delight, micro pleasure, and then pay attention to them as much as you can in real time. That's the first step. So I have my clients just text me moments of delight. Oh, I saw a kid laughing in the playground. Oh, there's the shadow on the sidewalk from the moonlight. And I build the habit of tracking moments in their life that they are liking their life. So what you're doing is you're brainwashing someone into secretly falling in love with their life by noticing moments. So that's the first thing. That's the first habit. The second habit is to notice that you are observing a moment of delight. So it's almost like I have a little Annie floating above me that's watching me appreciate the child laughing in the playground. And that Annie is clapping for me. Because if you saw someone in a movie completely mesmerized by a shadow on the sidewalk in the evening, you would be like, I love her. She's delighted by like everyday things, right? And so when you have first the noticing of the pleasure, then you're noticing that you're noticing, and then you're clapping for that 3 level of awareness, what you get is a generative subroutine in your brain that is constantly looking for pleasure, appreciating that you're looking for pleasure, and clapping for the practice. And that becomes an automatic habit in your unconscious. So now I don't have to consciously do it anymore. I am unconsciously moving through the world, scanning what colors delight me, what things delight me, what makes me happy. If I'm walking through the sidewalk, if there's a fleck of sparkle on the sidewalk, I just go, oh, I delight in that. I love that I delight in that. And I'm clapping for the fact that I delight in a sparkle in the sidewalk. So believe it or not, learning how to delight in your own delight in real time creates a generative upgrade to your appreciation of your life and yourself, and it increases your self-esteem. It's similar to a gratitude practice, but I feel like everybody's out the yin yang with gratitude for me, noticing what pleasures me and delights me that would normally be hidden and I normally wouldn't notice is being able to milk more enjoyment from the current life I'm having rather than my life has to be better and different for me to enjoy it. I'm mining from what's so more enjoyment. I think that's the key to not take things for granted.
I love that. So juicy. Now, you have been very generous with my audience. I know that you have a free gift.
Yes.
And I'd love for you to share about it. And we are going to put the link in the show notes.
Yes. It's a free gift. I wrote this treatise on love and money and their connection because there's actually so much parallel, so much synchronicity across them. When you upgrade your skill sets around love, your skill sets around money upgrade. If it's not coming from scarcity. If you upgrade your skill sets around money, your skill sets around love can increase. And so I brought all the parallels together in one giant PDF document. It's a booklet that I want to give your audience. It's called Love and Money, The Hidden Link.
Ooh.
And I'm really proud of it. And
I want to say juicy.
It is.
Is that okay?
It's definitely juicy, but it's also innovative. I've seen connections between love and money that I've not seen written anywhere else. And so I'd love to gift it to your audience so that they can upgrade their love and their money, upgrade their finance and their romance at the same time.
I love it. So good. Oh gosh, I'm personally so inspired. And got great ideas. And that's one of the things that I love when I have guests on that are able to bring points that we can just take right into our lives to make it better. Where can the listeners find you if they want to reach out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm online. I'm on Instagram. My handle is @LallaBird, LallaBird. So Lalla with 2 L's. And then on my website, Annie Lalla, ANNIELALLA.com. I'm always putting out free stuff, free workshops. I teach coaches for a living, especially if you want to be a relationship leader and coach other people in their relationships. So I have my own coaching school called Heart Coach, heartcoach.com. You can check it out. And what my passion project is right now with my husband is we're starting to collect couples that are in love and bring them together so that they can teach their technologies that they've learned in their relationship to other power couples. So if you're a power couple and you've been together more than 5 years and you're staying together forever, I would love to hear from you. Annie at AnnieLalla.com.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you to all the listeners for tuning into Women Growing Wealth. If you have not liked and subscribed on YouTube, please do so now. And if you are listening, I would love it if you would leave me a review. That would mean so much to me. And as we are recording today is my birthday. So if you want to give me a birthday present, it's my other day around the sun. And your gift to me can be to leave a review on the Women Growing Wealth podcast.
Happy birthday!
We'll see you soon.